We're starting, man. We're just gonna do it standing up here, baby.
Oh, standing up.
Yeah. This is like, all right, here we are. We're live. Henry McClure. Tyler Jaggers.
Want me to move the chair back?
Yeah, I want to get it out of the way.
Yeah, that way we don't.
Yeah, because
Put your toes on it.
I can't tripping on it. Oh, boy. All right, so tell me about your day.
Wow.
You and I stopped by your house earlier.
Yeah, you wanted.
And I'm sorry I was on the shot clock.
Yeah, well, you're too busy for coffee, but basically, Henry saw that there was shopping carts full of crap in the general area between my house and the house to the north.
And I felt that it was another shortcoming of Karen Hiller's.
Well, what's going on is, I just said on my podcast, this is hot news.
Hot news.
This is coming at you.
This
right
is
now.
breaking news right here on Henry McClure Live.
And if I'm a little bit freaked, it's because I was doing yard work, and then I saw this morning, actually yesterday, that the shopping carts were empty.
I saw that too.
Okay. And then so I thought, okay, well, I called up and I was like,
There's Walmart.
I called up Walmart,
Yeah.
and then I said, hey, we got all these empty shopping carts, okay?
Yeah, I want to bring them back.
Can you pick them up? And they said they'll think about it or whatever. They equivocated, waffled, and I was like, okay, whatever. This morning I went out there, I'm like, I wonder if this could fit in my car. And then so
I offered my truck.
you offered like
Yeah.
a man, and then but I was like, I wonder if I could fit a couple, so I could fit two at a time, and then take them in my Subaru over to the Walmart. So what I did was I just wiped them down, and then I brought over two, and then I was gonna wipe down two more, and then I'm like, oh, there's these little strings attached to them.
What'd you find?
You're gonna find
Listen
out.
to this.
And then saw there's little shoelaces. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my scissors to take off the little shoelaces, and I was wearing gloves because, you know, it was full of homeless people stuff. It had that smell of like that musty smell of like, you know, where
I don't hang out with a lot of homeless.
right, right. I was like, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, I've been over at MAP, which by Salvation Army, and it had that kind of smell, and it was just full of homeless crap. And then so what happened was, most of that was gone, but there was some shoelaces. I'm like, Walmart's not going to want shoelace covered stuff, so I'm going to wipe down, and I had scissors for the shoelaces. But then on the like third or fourth or fifth cart, I noticed, hey, there's a piece of metal in here. There's a something weird that's not a shoelace or not a ribbon or tape. And I looked, it was a garrote.
Now, how do you even know?
Video games. I know from video games.
Okay.
It's like a garrote.
Because he is a video game designer.
Yeah, a video game developer, designer, programmer, and then so I played like Hitman Codename 47. I played Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Stealth Action Redefined, all that. I've played those. I know what a garrote looks like, okay? And
Good idea.
it's
Put it over there now.
Okay, that's cool. That's nice.
I couldn't see.
And then so basically what it is, it's a strangulation tool. It's usually used to cut pipes or something, but this was an actual garrote.
That's how they got Lou Cabrazza
Yeah.
in The Godfather.
It's crazy.
And Carlo in the end. Clemenza takes out Carlo with a garrote.
Yes.
And then Lou Cabrazzi goes down.
It's a murder weapon, okay?
When who is the guys? The two guys. One of the families. I'll think about it anyway.
Sure.
A garrote.
But basically, it's a stealth weapon.
So what did you do next?
I called the freaking cops.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, hold on, Steely Dan. This is crazy. I need the cops here because this is evidence. This is a murder weapon. And on the phone, they're like, well, sir, how do you know it's a murder weapon? And I'm like, these guys aren't doing plumbing right now, okay? You're not cutting pipe with this. This is in this context, it was, what's going on is there's the trash.
Now, was it just like a piano wire?
Thicker than that. We're talking about this thick of wire.
So it was like baling wire.
Yeah, and it's threaded, and it had the two handles and everything. And I went on Amazon just to verify. And
Can
it's
you
like,
buy them?
No, they're like, get your garage. No, it was the exact same thing. The only difference, it had red rubber handles. The ones I saw on Amazon had blue ones. So whoever's out there, what I'm saying on my podcast is, I said, if you are fighting with your kids, if you are fighting with your cousin or your thing, you need to forgive them and come on home now. And I love you, and you're coming home because you need to figure it out.
I'm glad you didn't say get your garage.
Right, because I'm calling it the shopping cart strangler, okay? Because they're using the shopping carts and the homelessness.
But have we had deaths lately in this area with garage?
The cop looked at me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is evidence."
Really?
And he took it.
Oh wow! Did he bag it up like a?
He had the gloves and all.
Oh,
that shit.
wow!
Yeah, dog.
Man, you're doing your citizen's work. He's already doing the work. He's solving crimes in District 1. Look at that. When's the last time Karen Hiller was out on a scene like that?
Honestly, I think this area is not even safe enough. I wouldn't even want her out just for her own safety.
We don't want her out at all.
Right,
No.
right. No, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's getting wild. And then, honestly, I saw a teenage young man with the woman going next door, hanging out, all shaky.
Wait, in like next door to you?
Mm-hmm. The same house. The same house I'm seeing this crap.
I can't believe how much work you've done on your house and the ownership that you've taken in your home. And it was fun. I was watching. He says, he's talking to me like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm renovating it." Well, bullshit. I've renovated my whole life.
Right.
This looks like renovation.
Everybody's a work. Like,
we're working.
No one's judging anybody on the work of progress. I'm thinking, but I'm like, what are young people going into that part of the neighborhood for? You know what I'm saying? Get your kids home. Don't mess with it. Don't do drugs right now. I'm saying wait a little bit. There's someone on the loose, okay? And the fact that it was in the mix with all these 6 shopping carts means they're using the homeless, they're using the filth of, as a form of stealth. So like the filth of stealth and the night, they're using the guile of night in order to get away with these crimes.
The guile of night.
That's right, the filth of stealth and the guile of night in order to commit these crimes. And you need to get your kids home. And you need to tell them you love them and just say, you know what, whatever you did,
That's eloquent language.
This ain't the last time I'm going to talk to you, kind of thing. If
So
you were my son, I'd say, whatever you did, get back home.
I like talking to your dad the other day.
Yeah, my dad on the phone.
I like your dad.
It ain't worth it. Whatever that fight is, where they need to go to my part of town in order to get their wiggles, no, we ain't playing
What's
that.
a wiggle?
They're doing drugs. Obviously, they're doing something. Something's. I can't make assumptions, but you ain't going.
If it was a wiggle, I thought it might be a hooker.
Hey, I have no idea. But the way those kids were shaking, these were teenagers. Shake with the shakes.
Oh, okay.
Paranoid, and then I'm like, dude.
That's scary. Oh man.
Not with a murderer on the freaking loose.
Have
and
you
you're going
seen-
out and getting high while there's a guy with a garrote on the loose, and he's disposing it. So you know he's got some other thing. He's probably done with garrotes. He's probably got something else. But if he's using a garrote, he's got upper body strength. So I don't think it's a weapon.
It was Salazzo and the Titalias that took out Luca Brazzo. With the garrote.
But I mean, it's like it takes some strength.
Yeah.
It takes some strength. You've got to resist. So I don't think it's a woman. I think women would use a bladed weapon, or a gun or something. I don't, or poison.
Or their
or it's economics.
Their wit.
Yeah, economic knowledge. But they'll know.
A woman could kill you with her brain. You know?
Yeah. Don't risk it. Do not risk it. And the thing is, I think we've been nice enough about the dirt, the filth, about the non-code compliance, and
how do you be nice about it? How do you be nice about politics?
You can't.
I mean, seriously. I love that guy today. Although, man, I was a little too fat in my AI picture.
Sure. But he looked good.
I love that guy. I just invited him to come be on the podcast. And yeah, hey, I use AI. Why not? But if you want to talk about artificial
This was not
intelligence,
AI today. This was not AI.
so did you get the cop's name?
Yeah, I did.
What's his name?
I'm not. I don't want to.
Oh, okay. I was going to thank him.
I think he should be a detective because I've seen him before and he's good.
Okay.
But just for his safety and everything, because this case is going to be hot.
Well, trust me, he's every one of them take a risk every day. Just think about these guys. They got to wear vests.
Think about the people that are trying to handcuff the police and doing their jobs, that are going to city council saying you need to wear kid gloves while doing these wellness checks. No, I say the police need to be able to knock heads when there's a wellness check or whatever's going on and then protect themselves, because we're not, as citizens, we're failing them by not having our streets clean enough. We need to first take care of our own properties, make sure there's no trash or anything. And then second, after that, start making sure your neighbors are all right. And I could tell you that when you start seeing the garbage pile up in the neighbor's house, that's when it's creating like a place where
but what is
the
the
homeless
deal? What's the deal with your neighbors? It's just grit and grime. I mean, their whole thing. That's got it. Just the way the whole front porch is and everything around it.
Okay, you saw it for yourself. This isn't me anymore. This is you just think.
No, I came by today.
Yeah.
To take pictures of the shopping carts.
Oh, you were going to take a picture of that?
Yeah, because I want to jam them down Karen Hiller's throat. Absolutely.
Man, I
don't want. Karen Hiller is a hotel buyer. That's what she is. She's a hotel buyer. She's a Jetto lover. She's
somebody
part of the Greater Topeka Partnership.
I mean, somebody wants to see us continually decay so they can buy us up wholesale. Why? Because I've seen it happen in San Francisco. You got to remember, I'm from California. I'm not born yesterday.
So
this is like control C, control
hang
V.
on. I don't think that the muckety mucks that are running the chamber guys aren't trying to get us to decay. But I think they're creating decay by accident.
They want
hang on, because it's like let's say million or billionaires.
Yeah.
Who knows? But let's say guy over here just has got so much money because his business, his healthcare business is doing so good. And guy over here that his investment business is doing so good. Well, then they get into real estate and they're going to solve all the problems of the world. And they don't. And they can't. And so what I think they tried to do is create a market in Topeka that doesn't exist. They're trying to create their form of utopia.
Can I tell you what I saw happen in California?
Tell me what you saw. That's why you're here. You're on the Henry McClure Live Show to tell me what you saw.
In California, this is what happened. In San Francisco, San Jose, they made it so you had to steal $1,000 or more in order to even get a misdemeanor. Okay? So basically,
so at $900 in ripoff,
they're not even going to have the cops come in. There was people that are stealing stuff and creating a climate where you can't run a business, because if I did this to you and you're robbing my business, I go to jail.
Oh yeah, like that guy, the bodega guy in New York.
You getting it? So I just did this. I just created a crime because I used harsh language as you're robbing my house, and you stepped on a Lego. Now I go to jail. Okay, that's how backwards it got in California, and it's coming to a theater near you here in Kansas. And then so what I'm saying is, there's always a winner when there's decay. Okay, and then the winners is they can buy it up wholesale. And how do I know this? Am I just blowing smoke? Well, let me explain. Right when I moved in.
No, hang on a second here. Maybe what he's saying is right. So think about the decay out in Lawrence Bay. And meaning, because streets are going to fail out there before they ever get used. But what I don't like, I'm not mad at the guy that has the taxes or that ain't paying his way. You know why I'm not mad at him? Because it's government's job to collect the money.
Why aren't they collecting it?
You got to ask Well, first you could go to the county and ask Rich Eckert, because he's the smartest attorney in the whole universe. Rich Eckert, because he knows everything about everything.
Okay.
And so when he's explaining everything about everything, and I'm not done dealing with you, buddy, with Chris Kobach and the law. I'll get you yet. You watch. Because when I'm right, when you're right, you're right. And so he says, well, hang on a minute. These are all special assessments. The city of Topeka can collect on those. Well, then it's up to the city council to go collect on those. Back specials. But they don't have the balls to do it. They don't have the balls to stand up and do the right thing.
Why?
Because they're cowards, and they got into the government to be big shots, and they'd rather go to the Topeka Country Club and have steak tartare, and vichyssoise.
Tartare.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Oh, well, let me tell you, Henry.
Tell me.
This is.
Have you ever met with Karen Emmett?
I mean, I met her at the council meetings. That's about it. But basically, what I'm saying is this goes beyond politics. This has nothing to even do. This is your life here. This is your life and your family. And if you see these shopping carts showing up in your neighborhood, it's time to clean. It's just time to clean. Don't risk it. And if you see a potential murder weapon in one of these carts, report it to police so they can create a criminal profile and figure out what's going on with these disappearances. But there's been so many kids disappearing. Why are they hanging out on my street? This is the most dangerous. There's literally a killer on the loose, and they're hanging out on Harrison Street? Get your kids home. How else do I have to tell you this? Use your brain.
Here's the
thing. Get
your
kids home. Tell them I love you, and get your kids home.
Here's the thing. What I have found running for office is that some of the voters are so uninformed about stuff.
Yeah.
That what we do as truth tellers, we look like assholes. Or I do.
We look like the bad guy.
I do. Right.
We look like the bad guy. And then
it's like
and then people actually gave me hate mail about you.
Really?
Because they didn't want me being your friend.
Ha!
Can you believe that? And then you know what I tell them?
What kind of hate mail?
They were like, why do you support blah, 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 because of his social media, that thing. And then you know what I said to them?
Tell me.
I said, the cooling effect of not communicating is worse than people sharing their ideas. So when you try and censor something or self-censor, you're doing more of a disservice, because now that person is just going to balkanize and then isolate, and they're not going to share their ideas. We need to have a fresh exchange of ideas if we're going to have community solutions to things like this. They want us not talking about this.
Political correctness was to keep me to shut up.
That's right. And them.
Neil Dobler, I like him because Neil Dobler said, Henry, you are the least politically correct guy I know. Hey, thank you, Neil, and I'm glad you're not running for city council either. No, really, we've got Earl McIntosh. What Neil did over time was funnel as many deals as he could to Bartlett and West.
Okay.
It's true. Do you know that and I made a video about it earlier today in one of my rants, but there's a road at 37th and Gage that should go through the city or go through that land and connect at 41st and Wanamaker.
Okay.
And it would open up, if you live in southwest Shawnee County, today would be the best thing until they put the turnpike opening at Auburn Road.
Are you talking about the truck stop thing?
No. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay, sorry, there's a lot going on.
No, really, there is.
Yeah.
But they spent $2.5 million in they have a fully set of construction documents from Bartlett and West at $2.5 million that's sitting on a shelf somewhere. Because Bill Bunton got in the way because he didn't like Blackburn. And that's what sucks about this town. So hate me all you want, but you'll get change.
Yeah. And that's what I told them. I said, we need to have free speech so we could discuss things. Because they're hiding, like, the decay is really weird. It's insidious and it creeps up. And once you're okay with someone like having trash right next to your property, all I said in the beginning, I was like, hey, can you stay on your side, right? And then but unless you're on top of it, they're gonna see any space and they're gonna encroach on your territory, on your property, until eventually someone gets injured because they're basically on your property.
Do you feel unsafe in your neighborhood?
I mean, I feel personally that I'm safe, but I'm 6 feet tall, almost about 200-pound guy. I'm not a woman living by herself or something.
But when we walked your street,
yeah,
man, I met a lot of nice people.
They're great people. And then and
what's really wild though is the guy at the end of the street works for the city or the housing authority.
Yeah.
Does he have anything to do with code compliance?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but you'd think that at a certain point, we just need to think safety.
I know the answer to that, but that's
yes, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you should.
Right. But okay, but
it's fun getting out. It is fun getting out and going door to door.
And you got some mint tea out of it too, a mint water.
That was kind of good.
A little grassy.
It was a little grassy.
I mean, it's literally made out of fresh mint.
We got to get you some more real estate. You need to really get into this. You need more dirt, man.
For my farm.
More, we need volume.
Well, yeah, I'm going to make more beds.
See, the real estate guy here's trying to get him to trade up.
Yeah, well,
let me ask you a question. Now you're on the Henry McClure line.
Sure.
Let's change the subject.
Sure.
I don't want to talk about Salazzo and...
yeah, that's kind of scary. Viewer discretion advised here.
But what has been the best thing about running for District 1 so far?
Making new friends, new buddies, meeting new people.
Okay. Hey, what did you think? Hey. So, what did you think about the girl at the Chamber or the Greater Topeka Partnership that just bailed? Did you know that?
What happened?
I don't know. I gotta even give notice.
Which one?
The beauty queen, the Miss America, or
which one?
The beauty queen.
Which one? The president?
Yeah, I think so. I forgot her name.
No way.
She's the one who hosted the
the president bounced?
Yeah, she did.
Juliet.
You wanted to be her Romeo, didn't you?
No. Well, the thing is, I guess that was before. I think that was before they didn't endorse me. Womp womp.
She winked at me during the show.
No, but why did she bounce?
I think I'd like to get her on the show.
Let's get her on the Henry McClure Live. You're saying, where did you hear that?
It was in the paper.
You think?
No, I'm not making this
my
up.
Gosh! What if they were like, why didn't you endorse Tyler Jaggers, you moron? And then they're like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would have been if I was in charge of them. Because I'm going to be in the paper again with them because a lady wrote a book about me indirectly.
Who did?
A lady who...
In Topeka?
She's in another city now, but yeah, she wrote a book that was inspired by my journey, and then the character goes to the lake and all that thing. And I don't mind. They basically...
Did she kill anybody in the book?
Do you know what I'm saying? I'll find out when I buy the book.
She took out the chamber. Okay. Hey, I'm in a book.
Which one?
I'm in Dana Kaye's book.
What's happening?
It's called The Cards You Were Dealt.
Oh.
It's a cool book.
I'm gonna buy it and then check it out when I go there, but that's later this month. But I can't believe she's already bounced. Do you think
Lance Powell, there's a guy that I used to work with at Mace Ridge that wrote several books.
Why do you think
Juliet?
Why did they not endorse you for mayor, and why did they not endorse me?
Because I'm against the NGOs. So what they've done is they've taken the $5 million in sales tax money and for economic development, and just expanded the chamber's budget.
Okay.
So that's what they've done. So the chamber actually, the donors, God bless them, and more power to them. I think they've donated $9 million a year. So what they did to keep Pee Wee Matt Pavarnak in town was they created the Greater Topeka Partnership, and then put all the NGOs under him. So he looks like a bigger shot than he is.
Okay.
But he can manage all the NGOs. And what I'm just trying to say is we got too many eggs in one basket. And that's what I want to do is, if Go Topeka wants to exist on private
donations or something?
Yeah. But last night, the public works guy got it wrong. He did not tell the truth. He's a rookie.
What did he say?
He said that we had enough money in the budget to do all the sales tax projects, which we don't.
You're $500 million in debt, genius.
No. What I'm telling you even more so was Braxton Copley. Braxton was testifying in front of the city council several months ago, and he said that we had a $16.5 million shortfall.
Yeah, I was there. Was that 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But the public works guy now reports to Neil Dobler that we've got enough money. Now, I don't know if because Neil will trick people because he's smart. And Neil actually is a good guy.
Do you think they're putting makeup on the numbers or what?
No, it's just they're uninformed. The new guy is just uninformed. But Neil will do that to people to make them look bad. Like if he doesn't like them, he can make them look stupid in front of council. But that's what he does.
So you're saying they didn't endorse you because you're not for the NGOs?
Oh, no, it could be a lot more reasons than that. It could be just because of my videos. It could be that the list is long. But listen, the fact that I point out that Go Topeka spends $3.8 million in overhead,
yes,
and their hires are diversity, equity, and inclusion people. I mean, the guy that is gives away money to the diversity, equity, and inclusion people, he doesn't even know how to do it.
Henry, guess who?
Look at him, he's leaning
guess
on
who
me.
Guess who supported and donated to that forum we went to a couple weeks ago, and was the prime donor? If you had to take a guess.
Who?
TikTok itself.
TikTok?
So Chamber is receiving donations from TikTok.
I got banned from TikTok.
Well, yeah.
Henry McClure did.
Well, hold on. Let's think about. Let's break this down a little bit. TikTok.
And there's no leaning on the host.
Hey, you're really supportive. That's why I say you're a really supportive guy.
We all need somebody to lean on.
Okay, but lean on McClure.
The voters. You can lean on me.
That's right.
Running for mayor, it's like, if you know the difference between being involved and committed?
Okay, go ahead.
It's like bacon and eggs.
Okay.
The chicken's involved, but the pig is committed.
Oh, dang.
And that's what's happened.
You're in there.
I've become committed. And this bullshit about, you're not taking a salary because you don't deserve it.
Yeah, could you donate to me?
No.
Donate that to me in case I get sick? No, oh, darn it.
No, I don't want to put a burden on the taxpayer.
Oh, okay, you're not going to accept it at all.
But really, the most important thing the mayor does is the Jetto vote.
Oh, and the veto.
So I'd get $10,000 a vote.
You got $10,000
Yeah,
a vote?
because Jetto meets quarterly.
Oh, I think you should just use the money to fund your projects and renovate. I think you should accept the money.
If I can. What if they said you got to take the money?
You should just take the money. If you're making,
and then I could give it away.
Or you could put it towards my dry cleaning bill, because all 20 grand is being spent on my dry cleaning this year.
Why?
It just seems like, is it just me, or you go to Scotch Cleaners and they're like, okay, that'll be $300 now, and then I'm bringing.
You got to dress more casual.
Well, I mean, today I was just doing yard work.
You look sharp, though.
Yeah, I was just doing. Yeah, I do look sharp. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not going to be able to donate, or not, I'm going to need to. If I'm city council, I'm going to take the $20,000 and put it towards my expenses.
But the chamber really doesn't want to lose $5 million in operating funds.
Don't think about this. Every employee gets a pension, or they get to pay into the Roth IRAs. Every time we allow for like the city manager to have an assistant of an assistant and then a secondary assistant. I mean, we're going to be having so many pensions that we're going to be on the hook for. No wonder they're raising your property taxes. It's because there's an employee to bureaucratically manage the HR that's paying for the more employees. They burned $1 million on HR alone.
We got to take the $5 million that goes to Topeka. We cancel their contract, and it goes to the roads.
Why the hell not?
That's it.
Absolutely.
It just goes to the roads. Do you know that you guys are giving $9.5 million to the foster family and AIM development and for the AT&T building? $9.5 million.
Fox Camera.
No, Wolf Camera. That was $1 million in rent. So what I told him last night, I go, hey, the hotel has, it's like the pimple on the ass.
Yeah, it's the obvious one.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the obvious one, right? She's wearing a thong, she's walking on the beach, and there's the hotel right there.
You can't miss it.
Yeah, I'll put it in words.
Everybody knows it.
Put it in words that you all
think about it like this.
All can describe.
The flood.
Because I want people, the Capital Journal, to say, wow.
And they did.
They did.
Even at the news yesterday, did you see me on Channel 13?
What?
They asked me about the hotel.
My tweets?
The hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see me on there?
Yes, I did.
What'd you
and
think?
The answer is, you got to sell it.
I said you got
no matter what.
I said get it off the books.
Get it off the books.
We need to focus on the police officer that came to my house today did a great job. We need to pay. I'd rather pay him his salary than more bureaucrats.
We need
burning
more
through cash.
We need to back the blue.
Back the blue.
At all. But they did told me they told me last night, even if I don't get elected, whenever I go to city council, they'll still call me mayor.
Hey,
so
there we go.
Got that going for me.
There we go.
But I'd like to be the mayor. I really would. I'd like to be the mayor.
To be the mayor.
To be the Jetto vote.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be the mayor that brings on the Citizens Commission, because we've got to engage the public.
You're a brave man.
Why is that? Hey, we got a fan watching right there.
I'm Missy.
Yeah, she's cool.
Okay.
Did you meet her at the Republican convention in Kansas City?
Maybe.
I liked the Roberts Rules of Order guy.
Yeah, he was good.
He was too technical for me. It was like being in school.
It was, but I learned a lot. Be a great mayor.
I promise to be a great mayor.
That's right, Missy.
You know the best way I can be a great mayor is to get out of the way of quit trying to create a market. Let business stand on its own. Quit trying to prop up the wrong things.
Survival of the fittest.
You know,
if the chamber and with all these different tentacles and programs was working, why does Kansas Avenue look like a ghost town?
Well, it's because of priorities. Think about all the vacant property over here and all the vacant land out on Lawrence Bay. It's the same guy. And man, I'm telling you what, Arm's Length, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? And he does great in other businesses. But the guys I learned from, they got their billions in real estate. So I look at deal making as a completely different thing. The one thing that the chamber, this growth might have done good I'm going to get Elon Musk to come to Topeka and start a business, because we can steal all the workforce out there at Walmart, all the people, the working poor, and give them better jobs. Because at least what they've done, they know how to get up, make it to work, punch a clock, and then we can give them better jobs, better paying jobs. And then we can, because you're not getting what you need to learn in school.
Well, okay, look at it this way. I was, I told you about the chicken nuggets, right? So
yeah,
they can't even count to 6.
But everybody's getting ripped off the nuggets. But you shouldn't eat that shit anyway.
Well, I know. It was just because the council meeting was so boring afterwards, I wanted something to eat. And then so what happened was they didn't even give me all 6 nuggets. I went to Pizza Hut a few months, last year, and then I gave the guy a $20 bill, and then the bill was like $17.70. The guy gave me $5 back, okay? And he looked terrified. So the kids aren't learning the basics at school.
They can't count change.
They're just like, please, Lord, make it so he uses his card. Please, Lord Marduk, protect me. I need him to use his card. And it's like, no.
I've had to help somebody count change backwards.
It's just crazy, right?
I know.
And so what are they learning in school? All they're learning in school is how to hate America. That's it. That's all they learn.
Well,
I was teaching coding.
Whoever nominates somebody to the Supreme Court that can't define a woman.
Oh, man. Oh, right.
That is terrible.
You can't even define it.
And what about the auto pen?
Auto pen. Yep. Control-C, Control-V. So who actually was doing the rules?
Hey, did you hear about Crossfire Hurricane? They just declassified all this information.
Okay.
It's going to change the world.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets his big, beautiful bill through, whether it is or not, then he can start going after people politically. And then there'll be Republicans that will go down.
Sure.
We need to flush the toilet in Washington.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I had a Kansas school board person in here the other day, and she starts telling me about everything going wrong. And then I see what's everything wrong at the county with Rich Eckert running the show over there. And then you come to city council and everything. At every turn, there isn't anything good about it. So we as Americans, we got to celebrate our independence.
Business development.
You're not celebrating the 4th of July. You're celebrating Independence Day. Think about that. Think of the risk that all the founding fathers put. They didn't expect to have career politicians. You were going to come in, you're going to do your duty, and you're going to go home.
And you were a landowner that had skin in the game. That's why you had a little bit of influence and the resources to get there to these hot, muggy events where they was working out all these difficult concepts.
And it's and let's get over our past.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, come on. All right.
Stop hating yourself. Get out there and vote. August 5th. We need Henry McClure as mayor, Tyler Stansfield Jaggers for District 1 City Council.
Hey, look.
And take care of your kids. Get them off the street. Get them home tonight. It's not safe.
Here's the thing. I can't do it without your help. I really can't. I can't do it without your help. You know, my job as the mayor is to be a salesman. Because I've got to rally the troops.
You got to sell freedom because
the mayor was supposed to be just kind of a secondary afterthought deal. You know what I mean? When we went to city manager form of government.
Yeah, almost like a head.
But there's so many people that want a strong mayor. You know, if I could facilitate that, I want to be a real estate guy. I love real estate. It's fun. Putting people in business and making deals. But I can do the same thing as your mayor. Transparency. You know, I don't want everything decided like the hotel meeting. They go into executive session. And why are they doing that? It's our hotel. We're the owners. You know, we weren't dumb enough to buy it. So if they're not smart enough how can they make the decisions? Think about it. If you're so stupid, you got to hire a $554,000 consultant. You have no business.
That's a lot of money, dog.
And that's my money.
That's a lot of money.
That's my commission.
That's $500,000.
That's Doug Bassett's commission. That's Ed Eller's commission.
It only takes $500,000 to get $1 million, and we're doing it a lot.
Hey,
drop it.
Because
with their tax dollars.
You've got to engage the people. What they don't use in Topeka, it goes back to Napoleon Hill. You know who he is? He wrote The Laws of Success. It's a really good book. My dad said, no, that's the only thing you got to do for me. My dad was a brilliant tax lawyer. Read The Laws of Success. We don't use the power of the mastermind. Between you and me right now, there's a third entity. It's the mastermind. And that mastermind is smarter than you and I individually, the collective thinking. And we don't use the collective thinking of our town. We don't do it because
it's all an executive session.
Well, and those guys that got voted in, and think about this, all the taxpayer money that's being spent from Go Topeka is all done in a Go Topeka meeting that we can't go to.
And we got, after the forum, we got rushed out of there so quick. I didn't even have time to have coffee, talk to anybody. It was almost like we were there to say a little blip, and then it wasn't edited for public consumption. Did you notice that?
Who cares?
The forum? I guess what I'm saying is it's all closed doors and it's greater bureaucracies in order to consolidate
I didn't
power.
I didn't like the way the meeting was run. I was distracted. I should have wrote the questions down.
Sure.
You know, I could have done. I just ended a 4.5 day fast.
Oh, okay. So you're a little bit tired.
Well, no, I just wasn't. I wasn't Henry McClure. You know,
right. Let me just say real quick.
You can say whatever you want.
I crushed that forum. I literally was like I answered the questions. I was on board, and I was supportive of the Go Topeka Chamber, all these different things, and they still didn't endorse me because they don't want someone who knows how to read as the person who gets into District 1. They want someone there who's going to abide by their will. And I'm telling you, I'm just going to vote in the best interests of District 1 in Topeka. That's all I'm going to do.
Look, that Brendan guy, he's like yesterday's leftovers. Go to the refrigerator, and it's the spoiled stuff that you know, that it's not edible. You know, it's the stuff you throw out. You know, and then Karen Hiller, she's a hotel buyer, so she doesn't get to go in. You know.
And then there's one other, like they literally endorse everyone except
you literally ought to be running against Will Nager.
Why is that?
Well, because those are the two best. You guys are.
No, I think the main.
Well, who else is running?
Well, I'm not running against. I'm not running against anybody. I'm running for you.
Yeah.
I make my video games. I can make video games.
I was just using the chamber analogy.
Yeah, but
sorry.
But I'm happy person. I know how to survive. I'm not the one who's at risk. I'm 6 feet tall. I know how to make lasers. You know, these people are not at risk. Ones that are the ones that are like really in there, and I'm running for you because I want your kids to be able to survive, get a house, meet somebody, and get married so you don't have to import people from California all the time for $10,000 a pop. Okay? You need to get your own kids.
Speaking of Choose Topeka,
a
friend of mine brought up an idea.
Huh.
Yeah. You know what it was?
What?
Oh, sorry, just reading her note.
Chamber of Talking.
If we're using Choose Topeka to bring people in, like a headhunter, why can't we get them to hire find an engineer so we're not spending $3.6 million with Benish, the engineering firm?
It ain't cheap.
You know, all we have to do is pay our staff for more technical stuff, a little better wage, but you can just use some common sense. I went down to the 7th Street today and looked at the Maverick deal that ain't gonna happen. And I got a spot for the full-blown Maverick truck stop. I got a couple of spots. I got one out by the turnpike we could put together. South Topeka, and I got one up in North Topeka on Highway 24.
Oh, so this is about the truck stop?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. People want to hear about that.
Well, so this is how Topeka works. So this is Topeka, Kansas 101, a town that even the Miniger Foundation gave up on. You know who they are?
No, I just think it's funny. Why did they give up on it?
Because it's a mental health. They're a psychiatrist. Miniger used to be the #1 mental health.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah.
They're the one that had the, what was it? A insane asylum or something?
Well, yeah. I mean, can't you tell?
Oh.
Stick around. You'll see. Just look at, they buy hotels. Insane. We got the insane running the asylum. So,
Manager about that?
No. The insane, the leftovers.
Like you got to be crazy to buy them. Just waste your money on a hotel.
It's like catch-22.
Yeah.
You got to be crazy to live in Topeka.
Oopsies.
But listen,
at least I could. This is the only place I could afford. Don't hold it against me, okay? I couldn't afford anywhere in California. That's why I'm here. That's why I don't want to die.
I like you, but here's a funny joke.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, look what Choose Topeka gets you. But no, so they got so instead of using it, because mainly what really surprised me is that you're a product of that. Because mainly it's just the chamber members.
They thought I was a big liberal when they got me over. They didn't ask me anything like, they saw the video game from San Jose and they thought I was a big lib. That's probably what it was.
Come to...
yeah, they wanted a San
woke
Francisco
agenda.
They wanted a San Francisco Democrat.
To bring in the woke agenda.
They had no idea I was the only conservative of all of California. I was literally
So you didn't have to check a box that you're a Republican?
No, I could have squeaked through.
He snuck in under the wire. Look at that. We got him in.
10 grand, I'll put that towards my roof. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so what? It was a deal.
Yeah, I got the money for the roof. Then bam. And then I was like, cool.
But it was a deal. You filled out the form, you got the deal.
Bada bing.
Bada bing. But listen, why aren't we using it to bring people to work for our city?
But why do you have to spend $5 million in overhead to give me 10 grand? There's a problem.
Well, they only spend $3.8 million in overhead.
Wasn't that just last year?
Yeah.
The program's been going on multiple years.
I know. But yeah,
now think about it.
Let's really figure out who's benefited from this. I mean, where's Big Balls when you need him? You know,
yeah.
That guy, the Doge.
Yeah.
He resigned, but. If I could get Big Balls in town to audit, just think if you could really audit our city. I mean, there was a point in time when Steve Wade was the city manager and head of finance, $1 million evaporated.
Why'd you do it?
There's somewhere that it happened. We ain't making this stuff up. And then Steve Wade, people knew that hired him that he had issues mentally, being mentally ill. I mean, the poor guy, the minute I found out how sick he was, I started feeling sorry for the guy. But there are people on our council, it's worse than buying the hotel was hiring Steve Wade.
Why did she resign? We got to find out, man. I got it. Was that on the paper?
She is a certifiable hottie.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I can talk like that. I'm a single man. I mean, look at Pride Month. Look what you're going to talk about Pride Month. Woo-wee!
But why would she just got there like a year ago? I wonder why. It's because they didn't endorse you, duh.
Oh, man, I don't know, but I threw that in their face last night at City Council.
That they didn't endorse you or what?
No, that there's no draw for Topeka.
Oh.
Why would you want to move to Topeka? What's outstanding about Topeka? Think about it. When I was born, July 13th, 59, okay. 119,846, plus or minus. There's like 126,000 today. We're not growing. We're not broadening our tax base. And that's what that economic development money was all about.
Okay, give me 1 minute on this. This is important to me. So the key to wealth creation in a city,
right,
is actually growing families. That's the key.
I tried.
Let me explain why. Let me explain why.
Go.
Because if you have a family, you have to get the kids to school. That's transportation, food. The kids need food. They need clothes. They grow out of their clothes. So the Walmarts, the different Dillards, all the different places. You got to get new clothes for the wife, for the husband, for the kids. There's parties. There's birthday parties. There's multiple layers of consumption that are excellent for your community, but it only really works if there's families. And so if the property taxes keep going up, and the safety keeps going down, it decreases the confidence of these families to shop. Then you generate less sales tax revenue, and then there's less money in the coffers for your city to spend, okay? That's the key. So if you don't keep families safe, they will not want to spend their money in your town. They'll spend it online, and that will help Jeff. Or they will spend it in Lawrence, and they'll spend it over there.
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, exactly. And then so you need the families to grow naturally and organically. And so what is the system doing right now? They're not educating the kids. They're not making the kids feel confident about learning. And so the families don't spend. And then so that's the problem. And so if you really want to make money, you need to promote families and promote families having fun.
Did you, and that's what he said, ditto. But did you meet the guy that was doing that project 1776 in Kansas City?
I didn't meet him in person, but I watched his thing there.
Yeah, what'd you think? Just at the dinner?
Yeah, or dinner, at the Bob Dole dinner.
But, and he did a great job.
He had charisma.
Man, I like him because he can heckle better than anybody I know. He knows how to dig it in with humor.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, that's how I got out of trouble. All you had to do is tell a joke. You know what I mean? My stepdad would get distracted. But humor sometimes is the best medicine.
He's like distracted. You're like.
But you know, he said, "You guys, the Republicans, you guys got to start. You know, Trump's time's over."
Yeah, it's wrapped up.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, we've got as soon as that big bill. I mean, you'll have now you'll have people running for president.
Oh, sure.
As soon as this big bill's passed, but we need to go back to the schools. We've got to make we've got to prop up 501 to where it's the school. It's like Oz in the Emerald City. You know, it's got 501's got to be the shining star. We've got to wake up 501 and make it the best, because then people will want to come to the city of Topeka and live in Topeka, because too many people want to go out to Seaman and Washburn Rural and Shawnee Heights, different schools. The impact of white flight is what's degraded our community. And we've got to, as mayor, I want to work with 501 to make sure 501
tell them
what
501
tools.
Tell them what 501 means, you know, in case they don't know.
What do you mean? What part of 501? The school district?
Yeah,
it's just their number.
I know, but explain, because I have a lot of friends that are watching this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got friends?
U.S.
Look at that.
U.S. and abroad. I just had my buddy who, did I tell you one of my best?
Hey, Tyler Jackets.
Give a shout out to Sekile.
Hey, Sekile. Where's Sekile?
He came from Africa, and he worked at Google in the Bay Area, and he taught me how to code on Android. And he gave me a lot of, as I was learning Java before it switched to it switched.
Sekile's in town.
Sekile, he's a great friend of mine.
Did he get a Choose United States?
He got a job with Google, and then he was super cool. We were all roommates in the same house with
wow.
my buddy Jeffrey, and then basically what happened is he was helping me as I was learning Android while I was basically working.
What country was he from?
But
he's watching right now?
I forgot what country, but he's
Hey, Sekile, get on there.
Yeah.
And
But basically, I guess what I'm
Say
saying.
hello.
I got a lot of friends that are watching this, and then that are watching you
Oh.
because we're growing.
Okay, I will
base.
tell you about 501.
Yeah.
And there's some real history here in Topeka in regard to 501. And what's really interesting is how it affects me personally.
Okay.
So after my grandfather, Judge James A. McClure, was and the A is for Austin. So he just happens to be on the school board. And this is why it's so important to get people involved. And as a school board member, he didn't believe in separate but equal. And Sekele, this will be interesting, because separate but equal meant that the black schools, there were 5 black schools, they had first choice of all the teachers in 501. So it was separate, but it got equaled when you gave them the first choice of the teachers. You know? So you could never look and say, well, we got all those shitty teachers. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. You're getting like the scrap teachers kind of thing.
Yeah, so the white folk, we got the scraps.
Huh.
So that way, we didn't, back then, white people didn't want to go to school with black folk. Just being so prejudiced. I mean, if you really go back to the first Constitution of Kansas, it had a black law in it. And it wasn't that we were against slavery. We didn't want black people living in Kansas. That's how backwards some of our heritage is.
Like Lincoln, like there were some people that said Lincoln made that country in Africa in order for isolation. Did you hear about that?
No. But let me stay on 501. I want to hear about this.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, so Brown versus Board of Education goes to the Supreme Court, and they decide that we're going to integrate the schools. So my grandfather then got asked to integrate the schools, and I think he became the president of 501 from the school board standpoint. And as time marched on, when they built McClure School, they named it after him. And what's really crazy is Fred Rausch, who was on the school board. I used to work with his son at the Macerich Company. It's just such a tangled web in Topeka.
Can you explain to the lady about why, the one who gave me the hate mail for endorsing you? Can you explain to her why you want people to not be violent towards each other, and why it's not racist to want people to be sane?
Well, isn't common sense?
It's just common sense.
When have I ever... I don't incite peaceful protests.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so,
what is she saying that I do?
Basically, it's like the 6 degrees of separation type of thing.
Here's the thing about it. The funny thing, whether it's good or bad, I live my life out loud.
Right.
I mean,
that's a key.
Just look at all the videos I post.
I'm
a lover, not a fighter.
What we need,
when I get a chance.
Yes, and I think that what's going on is...
Is she single?
I don't know. Didn't leave her name. But here's the thing. I think that what's going on is there's been like an isolation of different communities, and they've been co-opted to vote one way.
Well,
meaning if you need to vote for this guy, otherwise you're not in the party. Henry and I, we're not. Don't vote for us just because if you're like thinking, okay, these guys are against a hotel, or Tyler grows food and he's trying to grow his business. If you're a Democrat, you need to vote for us just as much as if you're conservative.
We got to quit being Republicans and Democrats. I'm telling you.
Exactly. This is beyond.
Yeah.
This is safety now.
I voted for Donald J. Trump. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my vote.
Sure.
I know the difference between a man and a woman. Right. I'm unvaccinated.
Okay.
I wasn't going to let the government.
I'm so sick because I'm. Oh no, I'm okay.
I wasn't going to let the government tell me to take a jab.
It's an experimental thing. Come on, totally.
I'm not going to do that. No way.
You're going to find out why I took it into my book that I'm working on.
Well, that's your choice.
That was my choice.
That's why So we can talk about the common consumption thing. You know, I'm not against common consumption because alcoholism went up during Prohibition.
And this is important.
Did you know that? Okay, go ahead. No,
I think true racism is when you stop talking and you no longer trust yourself or others to have a conversation. That's the true definition. Racism is isolation and silence and this cooling effect. And that's
Have
what
you
we're
met
trying
James
to do.
Bolden Jr.?
James, yeah.
Yeah, we got to get him back into
He wanted
the
to ask
studio.
questions. When you left, he wanted to ask questions.
Of me?
Of the people running for city council, and they shut him down. They wouldn't let him ask. They literally said, "No, you may not ask questions." He's like, "Okay, I guess it's time to go."
We got to get James back in the studio.
Yes.
We used to do a show called Black and White,
Yeah,
and we picked on each other.
he's cool.
Yeah, he is cool. His
cool.
dad was, he used to be head of the Black Republican Party.
If people can't talk, you're going to have balkanization and isolation. They want to separate us so they can divide us and conquer us, man.
I put out a tweet one day to somebody, one of my friends, that I identify as a black man. Well, why can't I identify as a black man? Everybody else is identifying as a
skyscraper?
All these, think of all the things people identify as. But
I'm 47% mushroom.
are you on? Oh, I like those lion manes mushrooms.
I don't have
you
I'm
ever
just
had
the Walmart ones. Yeah, I got a video coming out of my what is that? Another pasta dish. But I've been really good at cooking.
So
I can't wait to cook more food.
Did we describe 501?
Yeah, you're saying it's like it's a school district.
Yeah. So here, let's go backwards. Yep. Squirrel. You know, now we're bringing it back to we're bringing it back to 501. So then they had what's called white flight. The white people that didn't want to get integrated went out to Washburn Rural, to Seaman, and Shawnee Heights. And that left like a donut hole inside. And so the money and the affluence went out to the suburbs and into the county.
Yeah.
And the long-term effects of white flight and Brown versus Board, we need to fix that. I'll fix it. Grandson of the guy that integrated the schools, it's in my blood. I'm supposed to do it. It's a calling.
You know, the problem with education today is they stopped grading kids. And then did you know a lot of the colleges are going back to the written blue books? Because the kids are cheating with the AI, so they're having to handwrite all the answers now because they're cheating. The kids can't even think for themselves.
I use AI, and I use AI every day. I do. I use AI every day.
Nothing wrong with that, but I mean to do math and then
no, you can't do that.
Or be a
well, they got to get the phones out of the schools, and everything's got to be pen to paper.
If you are a teacher and you try to take a phone away from a kid, you're taking your life in your hands. Okay, so it's just these schools need to be safer.
That should just be part of the curriculum.
Right.
When you sign in, you should have little phone lockers. So you like a little post office box.
They're addicted. A lot of these kids they're addicted like it's like a hard drug. These phones, and then so what I'm saying is these are all very complex issues, but at the end of the day, results are the key.
So I think that the chamber got me kicked off TikTok.
Oh yeah.
You said they were the sponsor.
They sponsor.
I'm banned from TikTok.
You're banned from TikTok?
Yeah.
And then what's the matter?
I'm Henry McClure.
Just too juicy or what?
I don't know. I don't think I'm that.
They're jealous. They're jealous.
But listen to this.
They're also Chinese. They're owned by the Chinese, right?
Yeah. Well, and I don't want them own any land in Kansas.
Or why is the Chinese indirectly funding our forums? It's weird, right? Why are they sponsoring forums that give endorsements on who should be mayor and who should be in the city council?
Well,
it's weird.
Hey, you want to talk about the Chinese?
That's conflict of interest.
You want to talk about the Chinese, and this is brass tacks. I'll dig it all up.
All right.
But the Chinese were in town, and you should have seen all the faces that were in the room with all the Chinese diplomats. And the Chinese guy is wearing this brooch, right?
Okay.
And it's sticking out.
It's a camera.
It's very prevalent. No, it's a big brooch. It's solid gold. You
Oh,
can
okay.
tell. Okay, so last year, what I learned so much from you, Henry. Thank you for your videos. Are you serious?
There we go.
You want to hear one more thing about 501, the craziest thing?
Whichever way you want to go.
Okay, black people have come up to me and they're mad at me and my grandfather for integrating the schools because they didn't want to go to school with white people. Now, how's that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But now let's go back to the Chinese.
Okay.
So you got the Chinese delegation in Topeka, right? And then happenstance, later that day was the forum when I was running for county commission.
Oh, so this is a little bit ago. A couple years?
No, 2 years, right?
2 years, okay.
Wouldn't it have been 2 years?
I
have a really
I wasn't as into politics.
Ever since May 2nd, 2015.
I waited to get involved in politics when houses in my neighborhood had started burning down. Like, that's why I got involved.
Well, so 2 years ago,
okay,
I'm up at the Chamber of Commerce at the forum, and I see the mayor wearing this brooch. Now, hang on, let this unfold.
Yeah, sure.
I go, God, that's cool. Where'd you get that? You know, just out of the blue. And he goes, yeah, I got that from the Chinese delegation today. Oh, wow. You know, it's like Columbo. You know how Columbo always kind of, you know.
Role plays things?
Yeah. And, but like, why would I out of the blue ask the mayor, he has to talk to me in public. Dude never returned my phone call for like 3 years. And so he goes, yeah, I got that from the Chinese delegation. So I pulled up all the pictures of the Chinese delegation, right? And it's exactly one of the things the leader of the Chinese delegation's wearing. They matched up perfectly. So I made a Quora request, and I'll dig this up, but I wanted to know what gifts the Chinese left. And they had a full list of everything that the Chinese gifted the city of Topeka. Very good, except the brooch wasn't on the list. The brooch went on the list. So you know what you do? You take that brooch and you go over to the jewelry store, they weigh it and they give you cash. They buy that. That is one of the oldest forms of graft.
Oldest trick in the book.
No, I'm not saying the mayor took it over.
Right.
But that's how you do it. And you know, the other biggest way to get the graft is through consultants.
Oh, yeah.
Consultants. So when you see a town that's got consultant after consultant after consultant, they're greasing the skids.
Absolutely.
We just got to find out who it is.
And and then here's another thing, everybody who's watching. There's gonna be a need for not just me on the city council. So we need to get me on the council, Henry as mayor, but then we need to get other people to get some new blood in there, all right? Because otherwise we're gonna have people at 10 years.
If the people don't get involved.
Yeah, if you don't get involved, then you're basically just letting things just be like, blah.
Go sign up for the school board.
Yes,
sign up. Man, I hope Mike Halligan, I'm counting on Mike Halligan running for county commission.
Doesn't matter if you're left, right, in between, Democrat, Republican. We need some new blood, some new activity. Let's show these people that we're not afraid. Let's show everybody that we want to be involved and care.
So we all make mistakes. But the hotel is the tip of the iceberg.
That's exactly what I said on my paper thing that I had to fill out for the GOP thing. Basically, in my survey, I was like, the hotel, literally my exact words, the Hotel Topeka is the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. And then the thing is...
But the nice thing about AI, when I used AI to fill mine out... Yeah, you can correct it.
Sure.
Hey, change that word, use this, be a little more firm. So I'm telling AI what to write. It's still my thoughts. I had to come up I came up with the idea, so I make sure. I mean, because AI ain't gonna write the word fuck, so it's
Probably not.
yeah. So it's helping me use better language and not dropping the f bomb.
There it is. You know, that's funny.
But I'm not the guy that bought the hotel. I'm not the guy that ain't collecting the taxes in Lawrence Bay. I'm not the guy that gave $9.5 million to the AT&T building. I'm not the guy that gave $1 million in rent to the Wolf camera. I'm not the guy that pays $540,000 to consultants. So, yes. I mean, so like every time.
What about where they're spending more money now every year on paying the lawyers in order to sue landlords when you're trying to evict the people that aren't paying? Did you hear about that? We just line item that. That's another $300,000. That went up from 86 grand.
Who got the contract? Kevin Cook?
Dude, these lawyers are, you know, they're making it more annoying for mom and pops to rent a room, which we need as that secondary income. If you're a mom and pop or a grandma, you're trying to rent a room, someone doesn't pay, you need to be able to evict people so that way when they don't pay, they're out, you can get someone else new in. You don't want to get sued indirectly by the city that's getting propped up from these programs. Come on, we don't want to waste money on that. We don't need to waste money on DEI in order to have more pensions, more employees about things that aren't critical to getting our roads done. Come on, guys.
So speaking of landlords and evictions, this is a great segue. Can you imagine, see, the craziest thing is that Jetto, and see, look, all these, they make it so complicated that when you're trying to explain it and you get angry about it, it makes me look out of control mad.
It makes you look like a conspiracy theorist when you try to explain to me where Choose Topeka came from. Guys, you got to watch this. I didn't believe it. So then it goes from like a 50-cent tax, right, going to chamber, and then this one has a subsidiary that branches into this for the Go Topeka, and then you have the Go Topeka connected to the Choose Topeka, and then there's all governed by a Greater Topeka partnership. Partner, is this showing up on the thing? Yeah, partnership. And it becomes so convoluted. Doesn't this look almost like an octopus? I'm just going to draw the octopus for you. So here's the octopus. And here's the tentacles. Okay? And it's like, there it is. Okay? And then so...
Look, you can tell he writes software. He's got to make it all look graphically cool.
Yeah. I mean, are you getting it? This is the wasteful spending here, people. I mean, we are at... I mean, we're in a real battle here.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny. When I was running for county commissioner, there was a political consultant of mine.
Yeah.
He goes, what you need to do is you need to make an octopus. And all the tentacles are all the wastefulness.
So, like, see what I'm saying? It's like, you got this Topeka partnership, you have all these
things. They did that. See, they loved Matt Pavarnak so much that they created this octopus.
Yeah.
The octopus is Pee Wee Herman, Matt Pavarnak.
And every time...
And that girl, Juliet, she didn't want to be the octopus.
What did she want to be?
Free. She saw what's going on in Topeka.
She was the president.
No, you know what she did?
What?
She made a better deal in another town, and God bless her. You can never get mad at somebody.
She got a better job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's
yeah. God bless her.
Okay.
She made a better deal. That's what America's all about. I wouldn't want to enslave somebody in Topeka. We already are.
That's why I'm growing my own veggies. I got some. Did I tell you I got potatoes showing up?
What's amazing is that Topeka means a good place to grow potatoes.
I didn't even plant the potatoes. They just came from scraps. We need to start making our own food, getting it to the farmer's market so we don't go destitute paying all these bills for the groceries that are growing and growing and growing and growing. The rising tide of wasteful spending, I need to draw the tide, the flood. This is the flood of wasteful spending. Okay? The flood.
But when you really start adding up all the money, it's like, how do you run for politics? Because you got the county, you got the city, and what they try to do is they do like a ping pong ball. You know, oh, really, that's city business, that's county business. But really, Rich Eckert tries to run the whole show. And his taxation issues, see, right now, we've got 1,000 properties that aren't paying real estate taxes, and they don't have them on the market because the county's afraid that they might have to mow them. But
what does that mean, mow?
Mow the yard.
Oh, actually lawn mowing?
Yeah, they don't want to take the land back because they don't want to mow.
Why don't they just sell it after they take it back?
Well, or give it away.
Yeah, to someone who will use it.
Yeah, we should have a list of all the properties that are not paying taxes. The guy can just sign up and get it.
Like TylerJaggers.com. I did an audit of
Kansas Avenue. Tuck Duncan, if you're watching, Tuck Duncan liked my idea of deed in lieu of foreclosure. You just go deed your property back to the county so we don't have to sue you.
Might be safer.
What we do then, hey, this is it. This was a brainstorm. So what we do is we just have a list of all the properties that aren't paying taxes. And you can just sign up and take it for free.
You need to get
Henry McClure for mayor.
You need to circulate the energy, more transactions, right? If there isn't blood flow circulations, your lips might turn blue. And then
I am drinking methylene blue.
I'm just kidding. But I mean, you want to have blood circulation, right? It's the same thing with money.
I like Bobby Kennedy Jr.
You can lean on me. Go ahead. You need transactions in order to have wealth.
No, don't you like that idea?
Oh,
Sign up for,
hey, what about your idea?
Wait a minute. What about some guy that lives over here who's got this vacant lot, and all he has to do is sign up and get it?
What about your idea for the property tax locking in and grandfathered in?
The Homestead Act of 2025. Thank you, John Akala. But see, this is the stuff that we have to do. I mean,
the people are getting priced out of their homes.
You've got to come up with these ideas, but then you got to get them out under the dome. So what I want to do is I want to be the mayor that works with Doug Billings, our next governor.
Nice.
Yeah. Want to work with the people under the dome. Guys like John Akala that's liked by everybody.
Okay. You have a daughter, right?
Yeah, Bianca Battleon McClure.
What if she was getting a scholarship in sports? Okay, imagine a scenario where she's about to get a scholarship in swimming, and then she gets her butt kicked by some transgender man.
That's shit.
How would you feel if you're a parent?
Terrible.
I mean, with how expensive college is, how would you feel?
I would feel that's a ripoff.
It's not.
You know what? How weak men want to compete against women like that, but the weaker people are the ones that support it.
It's weird. I think you got to think about, if you really care about women's rights, let the women play against other women in the sports.
Arwen Becker. Arwen Becker is a friend of mine. I met her one time. I flew from Seattle to Topeka, and she was one of the most powerful women that I've ever met. I mean, just totally beautiful, totally articulate, totally just spot on business person, totally woman, totally mom. Her husband is a great guy. They run a business together. They got great kids, just strong. Woman power, right? Man, I said, this is the type of woman I'd like my daughter to meet. And there were so many nice people up at Kansas City at the Republican Party. There were some really nice people. I'd like Bianca to meet people like that.
Yeah, head screwed on straight.
Yeah, I don't care if she never wants to get into politics. That's fine. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Van Leon, I know you're not watching, but She's supposed to make a Henry McClure Live video, but a Bianca Ballet on McClure Live.
There you go.
She's of the Kansas City Ballions. It's a joke, but she goes back 7 generations in Kansas City, Kansas.
Well, I just think that it's so expensive sending kids to college. If there's anything that could give you a chance to get your daughter into college, to have it ripped away by some dude that's...
Well, wait a minute. Riley Gaines, right? Wasn't she a swimmer?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, speaking of swimming.
It's just like... And then, or imagine you have your daughter get her head beaten by someone in Olympic boxing, and then, like, that's just crazy, right? I'm glad that lady took a knee at the Olympics, because she was like, now we get... She didn't want to get her head blown in by some
man.
By a man, yeah. And then,
so is Brittany Griner a man or a woman?
Who's that?
The women's basketball player.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he looks like he's got a... The Capital Journal wanted to talk to me about that.
Oh, because you endorsed something?
No, because of one of my tweets.
Tweets, yeah.
Hey, look. I've already got mean tweets.
How about this?
Henry McClure, mean tweets.
How about this? If you weren't going to censor people all the time, then don't complain when your entire system goes to garbage, because that's where censorship and decay go hand in hand, baby.
Look, X to me is entertainment.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Twitter, you're sending out fun stuff. Man, if you can't laugh at yourself, man, I'm definitely laughing at the Capital Journal, the little girl that wrote that article. I feel so sorry for her.
What was in the article? It was like the same.
Well, no, they didn't. They haven't wrote an article yet. They're trying to. How do you make that article real? Every time they brought something up, I said, oh, well, that. So I made an AI with the mayor wearing a Mexican hat and had a bunch of tacos. And I tweeted that out.
Okay, so you posted that.
Yeah, you know why?
Why is that?
Because I was down at city council meeting and dude's sitting there eating food while he's running the meeting.
Oh.
And I asked him, I go, hey, did you bring some for everybody? So I tweeted that out, and the Capital Journal picked up on it.
Okay, well, I mean, you did something that was kind of like spicy, right?
Yeah, who cares?
Okay, so then now they're spicing on you.
Well, so
So it's
that's
all
fine.
fair. All is fair in love and war,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean I shouldn't be mayor.
No, but so you put someone on blast, and then they put you on blast, and that's all fair in love and war. So that's
the way it works.
So then, if they,
I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I'm not mad. I'm happy for you.
But and then like there
remember
was
the '90s? Do you remember how
I remember
spicy
the 90s.
comedy clubs were in the
No.
'90s? It was hilarious. There would be people making fun
how
of this.
spicy women were in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, like,
Aggressive women.
but
I was all for that.
It was different. Kids,
You
if you're
guys
watching,
felt comfortable in your skin.
everybody was different then. People would diss and riff on each other. There was no hurt feelings. You didn't have to worry about being on blast. Someone's recording you, and then your life's ruined, and you can't get into school, or you lose your job because of something you said. It wasn't like that back then. People were dissing and ripping on everybody. They was having hilarious. And then guess what? You could buy food without spending 2 hours of your day job in order to pay for your lunch. You could buy groceries, and it didn't cost, you didn't have to pick. Do I get groceries this week or next week? We're getting priced out of existence. It's like we're literally in musical chairs, and we're running out of seats, everybody.
A friend of mine tweeted out like these 4 girls in bikinis.
Okay.
Who do you pick? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And I tweeted back like 3. Whatever.
Oh, you didn't say I'd buy that for $1.
No.
Like a RoboCop? Remember
like
that film?
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I picked that tweet up because I spread all the tweets out there. And I go, this is my favorite one. Are you mad that I didn't pick number 2? Whatever. So what?
They're scared. That's why they're coming at you. They're scared because you went from being maybe to now I feel like you're the prime candidate, because they know that if you don't vote for Henry McClure for mayor, you're voting for more of the same.
I think
period.
I think it's a media thing. I think that I think if you took my tweets, my Facebook, my blogs, that I think I actually get more exposure than CJ Online.
You got more exposure than COVID. I mean, so you're really out there. Everybody knows what's going on. I felt like it was an honor being on your maiden podcast here.
How did I get more? Did you ever see my what's it called? The drink that I posted about that they didn't.
The mint water?
No. No, that you could take during COVID. That.
The ivermectin? Did you talk about that or something?
Well, I don't think it was ivermectin.
Oh.
But
what were you drinking back then? Oh, I know. Wait. Was it the tonic water?
Well, it was a tonic. It was water. Tyler Weibel actually took it and got cured up.
What was that water again? Quinine.
Well,
was it quinine or was it something else?
There's a lot going on in my head, right?
This is not a medical journal. That we are not giving health advice.
I think it's. If I can't write this contract, I got to write some conditions of precedent to give the lawyer. But,
thank you for letting me speak about
that. No.
This was an emergency. I feel a little bit better, but honestly, I'm a little bit nervous with that garrote. I mean, just look up what a garrote is. This is getting crazy. We need to clean up these streets.
But I'll have to remember what that drink was. It was a homemade drink, but it was something that the government banned you from taking.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just having one of those moments.
Yeah, that's okay.
Shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're all right.
I can't remember. Well, anyway, I'll look it up. I'll think about it. I could call Tyler right now. What was the name of that drink? But anyway. All right, Henry McClure Live.
Tyler Stanchel Jaggers.
Thank you for tuning in over here on the comments.
Thanks, Missy. We love you.
And if you really learned something from me, God bless you.
Yes.
I love Topeka. I really do. I came home because I love Topeka. I know the history. And you know something? Really, we should all behave as mayor.
And you know what? I
can't afford. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We should all behave as the mayor. We should make people feel welcome.
Oh, right.
We should know about our city.
Yes.
Welcome, you know.
You have a lot of knowledge, that's for sure.
But we should all behave as the mayor.
Like be like ambassadors and mayors to the city. Yeah.
Show goodwill.
The keys to the city is in your heart.
Because the more negative stuff you talk,
the better.
No.
Sorry.
The more negative, why would people want to move here if everybody's... I meet all these people that are staying down at the hotel downtown, the beautiful one.
Oh, okay.
That Cody built. And
Cyrus?
The Cyrus. Yeah. And you meet so many nice people when having coffee there. But
it shouldn't be updated.
Advisors excel. You act like the mayor.
The shoe fits. If the shoe fits, right?
Hey, I'm running for mayor.
Right.
Hey.
That brings me up to something. Basically, it shouldn't be up to Advisors Excel to make every single successful restaurant downtown, okay? We need to get the property taxes lower, the sales tax lower, and make it so people want to take the risk of opening a business.
No, we got to let him keep spending as much money as he can, but not taxpayer money. See, it all ends on the $9.5 million. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to give money to all their friends in the chamber. I already know about a deal already. Dr. So-and-so is getting this deal. And
there's a consultant every step of the way and all that.
All right, I'm live. We're calling it a night.
Jaggers, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.